Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today, oh my God, I'm going to talk about Kiss. Well, let's say Kiss slash Gene Simmons 1978 solo record. You know, we always, as Kiss nerds or Kiss fans, we colloquially call them solo albums. Really, they're Kiss albums. They have the Kiss logo on them. They have the Kiss makeup. They were done under the guise of Kiss, or the big Kiss umbrella. I think of them as Kiss records. So today it's going to be let's say Kiss. You'd say Kiss Love Gun, or Kiss Rock and Roll Over, Kiss Destroyer, Kiss Hot in the Shade. So I'll say Kiss Gene Simmons. That's the record I'm talking about today. And you know what? I've talked before. I did Love Gun maybe 2 months ago. I think I did Love Gun, and I said that was my favorite Kiss album. Of their 24 albums, I said Love Gun is my favorite. I might have to rescind that opinion. I don't know if that's the right word. I think it is. Honestly, I think I might think that this Gene Simmons record is my favorite Kiss record. I'm not. Why would I lie about that? But I really think that, and I'll try to explain why. I did a Kiss ranking. There are a lot, but mine is the only real one. Other people say it's my opinion. No, this is not my opinion. It's official. About 2 years ago, I think I went through all 24 Kiss studio albums. I didn't do the live albums or the compilations, but I did all the studio albums, including the solo albums, because as mentioned, they are Kiss records. And when I put a lot of maybe too much effort into that list, trying to justify why one was at 17 and why one was at 9, or why this one was a little bit higher. But when I did that list, my automatic thought was the first 6, the debut, Hotter Than Hell, Just to Kill, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. They had to be number 6. And then I would work around that. It was just automatic. I didn't really think about it. But in the last couple of years, and maybe I knew this, but maybe didn't want to admit it to myself. I really do think I love this record, the Gene Simmons record, more than any of them, including Love Gun. And when I say the Gene Simmons record, yeah, I'm talking about the Gene Simmons record. I'm also talking about the Gene Simmons record. Oh no, wait. I'm also talking about the Gene Simmons record. And I'll explain why I have 3 after I finish what I'm already talking about. So I think part of the reason why I consider Gene's my favorite Kiss album is because, first of all, I listened to it from beginning to end. I listened to it more than any other Kiss album for sure. I typically prefer live Kiss, Alive 1 and 2. And, none of the songs on this, obviously on Gene Simmons' record, were never played live. I mean, Radioactive was played live on the subsequent tour, I guess the Dynasty tour or Dynasty tour. But they were never played live, so I never had the chance to get bored of them or sick of them or listen to them too much or listen to them outside of context of a live record. So to me, they're all fresh. I mean, I can't, because a lot of the studio Kiss records, I think, I like all of the Alive 1, which from the first 3, I like all of those versions better from Alive 1 or just Alive better than their studio versions. Alive 2, I don't know. Some I like the studio versions better. Some I do like the live versions better. But Gene's, and I guess all the solo records, they're all fresh. And so I can listen to every song and not subconsciously compare it to a live version as I do with the first 6 Kiss studio records that they called to take Alive and Alive 2. I think you understand, right? Mike Pratt will understand. He's like I think the smartest guy I know. And when it comes to Kiss, anyway. No, he hates Carnival of Souls and he loves Peter Criss's album. Yeah, I don't know if I trust Mike Pratt when it comes to Kiss anymore. I think he hates this album too. So I think that's why I really appreciate Gene's albums, because I never had a chance to get sick of it or to see any of the songs outside of the record. Now I'm going to get to the also why I have three versions. I have a lot. I think the superfluous stuff about this stuff is going to be longer than me actually talking about the record. I've also got look at this this book here. This is called Gene, Ace, Peter, and Paul. It's subtitled "A Detailed Exploration of the 1978 Kiss Solo Albums," and it's written by Julian Gil, if you were Mexican, or if you had a Spanish name, Julian Gil. And this is a big, thick book. This is, I think it's around 700 pages. 545 pages. Do the Kiss solo albums need that much depth? I don't think so, but this book gives it to you. This is for any Kiss fans who maybe don't know about this book. I think I showed it in another video, maybe it was a live chat, and some people didn't know about it. I think Mike didn't know about it. Just to read the back quickly, and it's really cool. Look at it, it's got the little bits of the posters from the solo albums. And it says, this work represents the culmination of a massive effort made to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the 1978 Kiss solo albums in 2013. It puts those 4 Kiss solo albums center stage like never before. More than 30 brand new interviews were conducted with various individuals who either work directly on the solo albums or have a strong connection of sorts. The interviews offer readers fresh, first-hand perspectives, straight from studio musicians, producers, engineers, and songwriters, and the creative professionals working in the Kiss camp at that time. There's only one way to conclude any introduction to this work, and it's dedicated to Gene, Ace, Peter, and Paul. And it is really in-depth. This is really for true Kiss nerds. There's like interviews with a guy who, played saxophone on one song on Peter Criss's ultra shitty album, and the engineer from Paul's album, and somebody who mopped the studio floor where Gene was recording. It's got interviews with everybody, and something strange. I'm getting through this. Here's my bookmark, keeping the theme. I'm on page 397 now. I started reading this about 2 weeks or maybe 8 months ago. This is a weird thing about this book, and I'm getting off topic. This is a strange chapter. It says the year in rock, 1978. And it says Kiss goes solo and the rock genre erupts with the banner year. And for some reason, they list 15 rock albums from 1978. I'm not sure why. That's in a Kiss book. Journey, Infinity, Judas Priest, Stained Class. Let's see what else. Van Halen, the debut, Wings, London Town, AC/DC, Powerage. Some people say Power and Age. Very strange. The Cars debut album. The Rolling Stones, Some Girls, Foreigner, Double Vision. Boston, Don't Look Back, Black Sabbath, Never Say Die. Never Say Die. Heart, Dog and Butterfly. The first Toto album. Rush, Hemispheres, Cheap Trick at Budokan. The Police, Outlandos de Amor. And that's it. So I'm not sure why. And then also, I'm just seeing this, the year in music, 1978. They talk about the Sex Pistols, Star Wars. Strange that they have that in a Kiss book. But anyway, so this is a recommended book only for really, if you really love Kiss, and especially if you love the solo albums. I think a lot of people don't. Overall, I love them. I think they were a great idea. I was 8 years old when they came out, so anything Kiss related to me was great at the time. Peter's album is just the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I'll talk about Paul's album later. I've talked about Aces. That was a long time ago I talked about Aces. Recommended reading for the true Kiss nerds. Now, getting back to Gene's record and why I have 3 of them. I bought the first one. I had wanted this record for a long time. On Amazon, I've only ever seen Ace's album. That's the only one I've ever seen. I've never seen the other 3. I bought that last summer. And I'm, keeping a vigilant eye on it, and none of the other 3 have ever come up. So I've taken to finding them used. So I was at El Chopo at the end of January. And as I entered the actual El Chopo area, there was a guy selling some records outside, and he had this version. All right. Now you can see it's in pretty bad shape. It's got tape holding it together here, and you can't see, but it's transparent tape here. I don't know why they wouldn't put transparent tape all around. And down here, it's also got this beige tape, and it's pretty scuffed up, and it doesn't have the poster. I don't have the poster, and it doesn't even have the real inner sleeve with the four this or this, the four faces. Doesn't have that, and it was 300 pesos, and I thought that's. On the one hand, I was excited to find it because I love it. But the guy said 300 pesos. And funny, the guy that I bought it from, he recognized me. He said, you were at Gene's concert in Mexico City, Gene's solo concert in 2017. I said, yeah, he recognized me and said hello. That was kind of cool. So I thought, you know what? It's not in the best shape. And it was 300 pesos. And I asked him if he would take 250, and he begrudgingly said yes. But even that was a little bit much. But I thought, maybe I'll never find it again. So I'll spend 250 pesos and I'll get it. And then like 20 minutes later, I saw another guy who was selling it, which was in much better shape. There's the second one I bought. This was 400 pesos. I talked him down to 250, which was excellent. So that was great. So these were the same price. Now this one, it does not have the poster. But it did have, and I've switched. This doesn't even have any kind of protection whatsoever, which I'll explain in a minute. Now going back to this one that I got, the first one I got, something interesting, and maybe the Kiss nerds will know this. If you notice, the song titles in this one are red, and in this one they're white. That's because this is a Mexican version, which I kind of like. And again, it's really beat up on the back. The cover anyway, it's all scuffed, and it doesn't look the best. It has the same credit. Everything is the same except white instead of red. And I kind of like this. It has the, I shouldn't talk down to the floor. It has the song titles in Spanish, so I'll read them in Spanish. So Radioactive is Radioactivo. Burning Up with Fever is Hirviendo de Fiebre. See You Tonight is Nos Vemos en la Noche. It should be Esta Noche, no? Tunnel of Love is Túnel del Amor. True Confessions, Intimidades. Living in Sin, Viviendo en el Pecado. Always Near You / Nowhere to Hide. Siempre Cerca de Ti, Sin Escondite. Man of 1,000 Faces, El Hombre de las Mil Caras. Mr. Make Believe is El Señor Ilusiones. See You in Your Dreams, Te Veré en Tus Sueños. And When You Wish Upon a Star is Estrella Azul. That's Blue Star. I'm not sure why When You Wish Upon a Star got translated to Estrella Azul, Blue Star. But there it is. And then the third one I got, I just got recently, a couple of weeks ago, found it on eBay. It was part of a lot with another Kiss record that I did want. So Gene's and it was a decent price, and Gene's was kind of thrown in. And it didn't, now that was the one, I'm talking down the floor again. So the one that I got on eBay was this one, which is in pretty good shape, but it didn't have the 4 solo album covers. The second one that I found in El Chopo did, so I swapped out. I took the best looking copy that I had, which was the one from eBay, which was a guy from Montreal, which could have been my copy, because I got my copy in 1978 in Montreal, then I sold it years ago. So maybe I bought my own copy back. So this is the most complete one I have, and it does have the inner sleeve with the 4 faces on it. No poster, no merch form. I don't have either of those, and it does have Gene's face on it. All right, but the Mexican version is a little bit different. The actual record, the label on the record, it's just got this plastic sleeve, and it doesn't have Gene's face on it. It's just got the really cool Casablanca logo and the song titles in English and Spanish. Is there anything else in there? No. All right. So I still would like to get the poster. It's become kind of a less of priority than I thought it was some months ago. If I saw a new copy of it for a fair price, I guess I would buy a fourth copy so I could look at the poster and then put it back inside, never to be seen again. But I would get it. Yeah. So there are the 3 that I have. Now, speaking of Gene Simmons again, kind of solo. As I mentioned, I did see his solo show in Mexico City in 2017. One of the best concerts I've ever been to. At least the most fun I think I've ever had at a concert. Oh my God, I had such a good time that night. My good best friend since 1985 flew down. He's, maybe not like me, but he's a massive Kiss fan also. And I went with my, well, at the time, ex-wife. We met because of Kiss. So there was 3 Kiss fans representing, I don't know, 80 years, 90, 100 years, I don't know, more than that, of Kiss fandom, I don't know. Had a really, really good time. I think it was general admission on the floor. I was about 3 rows back, so it was really, really cool to see Gene up close. Oh man, and it was a short show. It was like an hour, maybe 65 minutes, 70 minutes tops. But oh man, I just had such a good time at that show. He played some songs that that Kiss never really plays live. Gene played "Going Blind." I think he played "Charisma." I can't remember what else he played, but I was very, very happy with what he played. Yeah. So there it is. There are the 3. I guess just for aesthetic purposes, I'll hold up this one as I go through it. There it is. That's with the red on it, and this had now this of course is famous for having many guest stars. Gene at that point, I guess wanted to really show off and show what he could do. He tried getting the Beatles. He didn't get them, so he got a couple of I think got what was that Beatles tribute band that was very famous in the 70s, I can't remember. Beatlemania, I think they were called. But he's got, just going through the special guests on here now, you probably know these. Bob Seger, not the Silver Bullet Band, just Bob Seger, who plays on Radioactive and Living in Sin. Joe Perry plays on Radioactive and Ton of Love. Helen Reddy, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar, sings on True Confessions. Jeff Skunk Baxter, I think at the time I didn't know who any of these people were. I was 8 years old. I was dumb as shit. I didn't know anything. I don't know if I knew who any of these people were. I knew who Donna Summer was. Was on Burning Up with Fever. Janice Ian, I still don't know who Janice Ian is. And there are interviews with a lot of these people in this book that I mentioned. Rick Nielsen, maybe I knew who Rick Nielsen was at that time, is on See You in Your Dreams. Cher, I knew who Cher was. Mitch Weissman. Oh yeah, Mitch Weissman and Joe, I can't see because the name, is it Pecorino or I guess it's probably Pecorino from Beatlemania. They sang on Mr. Make Believe, See You Tonight, Always Near to Know and Hide. Michael DeBar, they misspelled his name here. It's D-E instead of D-E-S. Maybe he used to spell it as that. He sings on See You in Your Dreams. Richie Rano, I still don't know who that is on Ton of Love. And the Azusa Citrus College Choir sings on True Confessions and Always Near You. Lots of special people on here. Kate Segal from Peg Bundy. She sang on this, backing vocals. Lots and lots of credits here, of thank yous. This was I guess a really, really big production at the time. I think expensive. Jeans anyway was very expensive and maybe hard to make. But as I said, I love every single song on this album except one. Maybe you can guess which one it is. But it's hard to pick a favorite from this. Sometimes it's hard to pick a favorite like Peter's album because they all suck. This one, it's hard to pick a favorite because they're all awesome. It really, really is. I can make a case for any one of these songs except one being my favorite. And, that one's clearly my non-favorite, my least favorite. But other than that, this is a solid album. I think Kiss fans generally don't like this album. I think my people love to talk about this. My Kiss solo album ranking is Gene 1, Ace 2, Paul 3, Peter 4. I think if you asked 1,000 people, they would say, I think Aces would be 1, probably Paul 2, Gene 3, Peter 4. And a lot of people really, really don't like this album, including Mike Pratt, I believe, does not like it. And I don't really understand why. I can understand not liking Peter's because that is totally different from Kiss, and it sucks. Gene's it's not totally different from Kiss. It is kind of different from Kiss, and it doesn't suck, at least not for me. And, as I said, this is not my opinion. This is fact, so you're going to have to accept that. All right, I guess I can finally get to it now after all that. We're probably, 15 minutes deep already? So the first song is Radioactive. What a, just incredible. Even now, it's still one of my favorite song introductions ever, especially when I was 8 years old when this came out. And when I had it, and I don't know when I got it. Maybe I was 9 years old. Maybe I got it in 1979. But oh my God, that intro to Radioactive. And if I remember correctly, Gene used that as his intro music when he does his live shows, at least when I saw him. And he just announced recently that he's playing a bunch of live shows across Europe. The first one he announced was in Brazil. That was about a month ago. And when I saw Brazil, often bands, they play in Brazil and then they announce South America and Mexico, or sometimes it starts in Mexico, goes to South America. But as far as I know, on this side of the world, Gene is only playing in Brazil. No Mexico, at least at this point. Anyway, that intro to Radioactive, it's very, very, very Gene Simmons. It's very dramatic, kind of spooky. It fits in, I think, with Gene's image. And I have no idea still who it is that's speaking, what they're saying. The how to. Don't know what it is. It sounds. I've always thought it. Even when I was a kid, I remember thinking it sounds like they're saying, or whoever it is saying something in Japanese. I don't know what it is, and I don't know who it is, but it's so dramatic, so great. It sounds like movie music. It sounds very dramatic, very, very big, like something really scary is going to happen. There's strings, and it's kind of eerie and ominous and spooky and creepy, and it's just a great, great, great introduction to Radioactive, which I think people who don't like this album will probably love Radioactive. Probably, I guess it is the most rock song, the most real Kiss song, the most guitar-driven song. You're my food, you're my water, you've got to be the devil's daughter. Can't get near, can't get far. You've got the power to know who you are. She's Radioactive, and oh my God, I know this album stone cold. As much as I know, the debut and Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. I know this album, and Aces too. I know them word for word. I know every little detail of this album, every nuance. Radioactive is just a great, would have fit well on a Kiss album. That was the one that Gene played live on the subsequent tour, the Dynasty tour. Understandably, as I said, it is a rock song. It was the single from his album. They each had one single. For some reason, Peter Criss had two singles. Radioactive was Gene's song, Gene's single, and I love it. I love it. It was just such a thrill to hear that when I was 8 years old. I saw it as another Kiss song. I don't need that to look at it. Next is Burning Up with Fever. 1, 2. I won't count it, but the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he kind of tricks you into thinking that it's going to be like a hard rock song or something, but it's this little kind of weird, gentle acoustic guitar. And then the drums come in. I'm the gift and giver, not a woman mistreater. There is no one else. You can have me just a one time, baby. She says, baby, I'll give you a chance, 'cause I'm burning up with fever. I love that song so much. I think every song gets better and better. And some great bass on this album, despite the fact that, or maybe because of the fact that it's not Gene playing bass on his, he's the bass player in Kiss, but he doesn't play bass on this record. There's some really plucky bass on this record. And I really love a lot of great, really cool female backing vocals too. This one is, I'm burning up, and I don't know if is that Helen Reddy towards the end? I'm burning, baby. Great backing vocals. Yeah, Burning Up with Fever is just incredible. Next is See You Tonight, which is curiously spelled Tonite, which I think also Rock and Roll All Night was Nite. I think that had a little bit of a resurgence or a renaissance or a something when they played that during the MTV Unplugged that I talked about a month ago or whenever it was. I always loved this song, and then when they did Unplugged, I loved it even more. I think a lot of Kiss fans had forgot. If they didn't like the solo albums, and especially didn't like Gene's, I think a lot of them remembered and loved it, including my friend who I saw the Unplugged or the Kiss Convention tour with in '95. He really got into that song after that. Just a great, obviously very Beatles sounding. and I don't know what it is. I'll see you get it tonight, and if I can't, I'll cry and cry. You won't see me without it, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if Gene knows what it is, but just a beautiful, it's not a ballad, but it's just a really, really nice song. See You Tonight is phenomenal song. What's next after See You Tonight? Is it Tunnel of Love? I think it is Tunnel of Love. Yeah, Tunnel of Love, which I think refers to a woman's vagina. I think I want to visit. Let me visit your Tunnel of Love. I love this song too. I feel like I'm just repeating myself again, saying I love the song. The song is awesome. The song is phenomenal. The song is great, but it really is. How does Tunnel of Love start? No, that's Living in Sin that I'm thinking of. Tunnel of Love, got to visit your Tunnel of Love. You're just a victimless crime. It happens all the time, yeah. You haven't overstayed, and your bill is not paid. You are the lock, I am the key. You know what you do to me. Dun, dun, dun. Tunnel of Love. And then the great backing vocals come in. Tunnel of Love. I've got to visit your Tunnel of Love. Amazing. And then the last song on side one is True Confessions. Great. I think this is the one with Helen Reddy. True Confessions. These great female backing vocals. There's some great piano in that song. It's got kind of a boogie to it. It reminds me a little bit of Christine 16, which I've said is my favorite Kiss song in their whole catalog. Just it's got that kind of boogie piano. Before you tell me to go, I've got to let you know that you're making my temperature rise. I let you use me, you try to abuse me, you tell me you're not very nice. I'm not your social security, I'm not your social security. I'm not your star opportunity, yeah. Well, baby, you can have me absolutely. Won't you give me true confessions? True confessions. That's all I'm asking for, yeah. Guess what? I think it's a great song. Oh, killer first side. So if you turn it over, which I hope you do, and you listen to the second side, the first song you're going to hear is Living in Sin. Living in Sin at the Holiday Inn. I know you write me sexy letters. And you send your pictures for my wall. You found the hotel where I'm staying. I apologize for that, but I can't help myself. And you build up the nerve, and then you call. I'm living in sin. And I love that. Again, it's got this kind of boogie to it. At the Holiday Inn, yeah. Living in sin, I'm living in sin. And the vocals are kind of, the backing vocals and Gene's vocals are kind of going, kind of away from each other, but together. And it's got Cher, of course, doing the I Know Who You Are, dun, dun, dun. Doing the phone call, calling Gene's, hello, baby. Is this Gene Simmons? And I was a kid, I used to love Cher, or Sonny and Cher, because you might remember there was a variety show called Sonny and Cher. This was Sonny, not Bono from U2, but Sonny Bono. And I used to watch their show, and I used to love it. So for me, it was pretty cool that Cher was on a Gene Simmons record. Those were the two worlds were coming together. They weren't colliding, they were coming together in harmony. That was, when I was a kid, that was my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite anymore. As I said, it's hard to pick one. But Living in Sin at the Holiday Inn. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide. Yes. This is maybe another one that real Kiss fans, the rock Kiss fans, maybe the closed-minded Kiss fans don't like. Because it's a very gentle, quiet, acoustic song. I think Gene has always been, he is now, and I think he always has been my favorite singer in Kiss. And I just love the way he sang. And I've always loved this record. I think it's always been my number one. Ace was very, very close for a period, but from the time I first heard this, I love this song. The very quiet acoustic. I've just begun since you've gone to understand you're the only one. And if you trust me, I might come and see you. Don't run and hide. I'm always near you. I'm always near you. Near you. And if you turn out the light, turn out the light. Again, great backing vocals. I think it's the Beatlemania guys doing that. Don't think you'll hide behind the night, behind the night. It was my instinct to say that's my favorite, but I'm not sure. But oh my God, nowhere near you, always near you, nowhere to hide. Guess what? It's also fantastic. It's great. It's phenomenal. It's outstanding. It's stellar. It's all of those things and more. And the next song is, is it Man of a Thousand Faces or Mr. Make Believe? I think it's it is Man of a Thousand Faces. This is a little bit more of a rock song. My friend Pete, the one that I mentioned earlier, my best friend that we saw Gene Simmons with in Mexico a few years ago, and we saw Kiss together in 1985 on the Asylum tour. We saw them quite a few times together. The reunion tour, Hot in the Shade, Crazy Nights. Saw them a lot together. He always loved at the end of Man of a Thousand Faces, I'm the man. He loved that part, which, kind of spurred me on to like it. So we always used to, I'm the man. And it's great. I love it. What else can I say about Man of a Thousand Faces? He understands, man of a thousand faces. And again, great backing vocals. It is a very big, kind of a grand song, I think, as a lot of the songs on this record are. And maybe that's why a lot of people don't like it. But yeah, Man of a Thousand Faces is great. I think that was about Lon Chaney, I think. Or maybe Lonnie Smith from the St. Louis Cardinals. Next is Mr. Make Believe. Another similar, this is to me kind of like the sequel or the follow-up or the brother or something to See You Tonight. Very, very Beatles-esque, I think even more than See You Tonight. What song am I talking about? God. Oh, Mr. Make Believe. This time I'll try to get it right. Just give me one more chance tonight. I'm trying hard to please you. Would you believe me if I tell you? Baby, won't you try? Sorry for that. I can't go up that high. Yeah, Mr. Make Believe. Oh, I love that song. It's definitely, as I said, more than See You Tonight. Got a great Beatles vibe to it. Quiet, mellow, acoustic, very catchy. Just a beautiful, beautiful song. Next is See You in Your Dreams. Yeah, See You in Your Dreams. Now this is obviously I don't know if it's a cover, but it's a different version of See You in Your Dreams from Rock and Roll Over. And I've seen people say, when I've watched these Kiss ranking videos or, talking about the Kiss records, people don't like this. They say, why'd they redo it? And I love it. What did I talk about recently? When I talked about the Bruce Dickinson record the other day, last week or something, and the Mandrake Project, and he redid, he wrote that song for, the song on the Iron Maiden Book of Souls record was called If Eternity Should Fail. Bruce had wrote that as a solo song and never did anything with it, used it for Iron Maiden. Then he recorded it himself for his solo album, the Mandrake Project, called Eternity Has Failed. And it's kind of like that. And people might say, why would you re-record it? Well, I think, why not? And people say, well, why would you ruin a great song? Well, if you don't like the newer version, you've still got the old version. You can always go back and listen to it. I maybe even like this version better than the Rock and Roll Over version, just as it's got an extra verse in the second after the first chorus. When you're in your room, you're home. When you're in your room, you're home too soon. You can't get me out of your mind. You lay in bed, you cover your head. My letter to you is signed. Now in the Rock and Roll Over version, then it went into the chorus again. See you in your dreams. But in Gene's version, they added an extra verse. I love you, you know I do. Take me home tonight. I think of me, I think of you. Well, baby, it's all right. Yeah, oh, see you. And this had Michael DeBar singing the backing vocals. I really like that too. I think I do like this version better than the Kiss version on Rock and Roll Over. Yeah. And the last song, now this is the one that I mentioned that it's probably not hard to figure out. The one song that is clearly my least favorite, and I don't even mind it that much, but it's clearly my least favorite. is When You Wish Upon a Star, which is it's the Disney song from Pinocchio, I think that movie is called. And, the story behind it is Gene, I guess it was Jiminy Cricket or something that sang that song in the movie or something. And I guess Gene, when he came to the United States from Israel, that was like his inspiration. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. You can do anything that you want. And the story, and I'm sure this is Gene being full of shit, was that he couldn't hold it together when he was singing. He was crying, or he was really holding back the tears. And Gene, he's full of it. He cries in every interview he does. He talks about his mother, and then he always goes, I think those are crocodile tears. I think he's, he is an actor. So I think that's probably not true about Gene crying when he was singing that. Irregardless, I think When You Wish Upon a Star is not so bad. I know Kiss fans hate it. It's probably good. It's at the end of the record, so it's kind of a little bit of an afterthought. It's definitely my least favorite, but as I said, I have no problem with it. Yeah. So there you go, Gene Simmons record. Oh, what a beauty! If you I don't want to be arrogant and say, go listen. If you don't like it, go listen to it again because you're going to like it. That's stupid. People have been telling me every Kiss video that I see people talking about Peter Criss's. Did I mention how shitty that record is? They say, this album is really good. You need to give it another chance. No, I don't. I've given it many chances in the 46 years I've had it, and I'm not giving it any more. That album fucking sucks, and I'm not giving it any more chances. I'm not recommending you do the same thing with Gene's album. I'm just saying that I love it. And if you don't, I don't know what to say. What, you're missing? Do I feel like you're missing? No, if you don't like it, you're not missing anything. So there it is, as I pick it up to get it in, you know what? I think that's a little bit embossed. I guess as the years pass, the embossing shrinks down, but I can see a little bit of texture around his eyes and his makeup and his jawline. Maybe I remember that, but I didn't recall. Anyway, so there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again. It is my favorite Kiss record. I just can't get enough of it. I listen to it regularly from beginning to end. It's like 36 minutes, so it's easy to listen to. And for me, it's just a pleasure to listen to. There it is, the #1 Kiss record. This is Kiss. Yes! Gene Simmons.